Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Everybody who has been watching my channel for the last coming up to 3 years now is fully aware of my thoughts and views about Meghan and Harry. There's so much to unpack with the amount of information that they have dished out there for the public to consume. So a lot of people are currently cancelling their Netflix subscriptions because they're sick and tired of the Meghan and Harry marketing machine. Now, all I can really say is that I feel as though I deserve some kind of donations of some sort because I actually sat through all three of the second half of their Netflix docuseries drop. So I watched all three episodes back to back. Don't ask me how I done it because I myself am not even sure as to how I survived this self-gratifying docuseries. What I was really looking for in this docuseries, to be honest, and I think that a lot of other people were also looking for this as well, was a formal apology for at least half of the things that Harry and Meghan have put us through, especially that tone-deaf Tom Brady interview in South Africa. What I didn't expect was that they would actually be congratulating themselves for their disrespectful acts that they have played out in public. Not only do they congratulate themselves in a rather tone-deaf, one-sided, nauseating way, but they also play the victimhood narrative, which has been the theme tune for Harry and Meghan's public PR marketing image, and it's just not serving them. In fact, it's making it worse. Meghan, I'm just going to summarize with a few key points that for me personally were significant things that they failed to address. They skim over the fact that Meghan not only used a tone-deaf means of trying to reach out to her father while she was attempting to integrate as a new member into the royal firm, but they also failed to acknowledge the fact that Thomas Markle had a point. He was desperately trying to reach his daughter. She doesn't acknowledge the fact that her father was trying to reach her at any given point. She simply goes on to reiterate and talk about how her communication with her father was intercepted, and she also blames the Queen Mother herself and King Charles, I have to say now, but then Prince Charles, for the letter, which was a tone-deaf way of reaching out to her father. Now, she's very fixated upon the number of her father being unreachable, and she basically perpetuates this concept that her father has somehow been taken hostage and locked away somewhere, and someone is advocating on his behalf. Now, I'm not denying that Thomas Markle may have someone working for him, or he may not have access to his own phone and technology. But did Meghan Markle, in all of this, completely forget the simple fact that her father did actually have a heart attack? He was actually in a compromising position whereby he could not physically get up and was not able or well enough to travel. She doesn't acknowledge that. She also fails to acknowledge that there are other means and ways of visiting your family, i.e., you would think that her being so rich now and bestowed with all of this wealth and success, especially at the time when she had disposable income at the expense of the British taxpayer, she could have gotten on one of her gas-guzzling private jets and flown out directly to Mexico to see her father. This would have cleared a lot of the public's disdain for her up, and it would have, to a certain extent, put a lid on it. She also goes on to try and justify the reasoning behind not wanting to stand on the steps, which is a royal baby tradition that has been going on for centuries. And she tries to justify that by saying that no one in the firm made her aware that it would be an issue. It only became an issue when it went out to press. So what she basically does is she tries to wipe the slate clean and remove herself from all the wrongdoing that she has done, which has led to this unfortunate situation whereby people want to write her completely out of the history books of the royal firm. She doesn't seem to want to take any accountability, along with Harry, for the reason as to why their public image is completely in the toilet. And then, of course, she goes on to have the left eye one tear Meghan go display during this docuseries, along with Harry delving into the explosive fracturing of his relationship with Prince William at Sandringham Palace when Harry and Meghan decided to step away from the institution because they felt as though they was not being supported. What Harry basically insinuates is that William and Charles, and of course the Queen, maliciously orchestrated this meeting at Sandringham in order to make sure that Meghan Markle wasn't a part of it, so that she didn't have a say in it. And he essentially tried to advocate on both of their behalves for them to have a 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of setup, which simply was not going to work. Now, he describes this meeting as non-conclusive, in as much as there was no resolution that was reached, and he left with William screaming at him. Now, he talks about Prince William's legacy, which we know that Harry is very jealous of, and we know that he's very resentful of being the spare and not being the heir. But he doesn't, at any given point, while talking about this, present any elements of remorse or even acknowledge any reason as to why William would have gotten so irate with him to the point whereby he would have been screaming at him. It seems rather strange that Harry and Meghan, out of all of the members of the royal household who seem to have found their footing and comfortability in the firm, couldn't come to a reasonable conclusion that could maintain their position in the firm. They then liken Meghan Markle's impact in the royal family as that of the 2.1 billion people in the Commonwealth. And what they maintain during this docuseries is that the royal firm was so tone deaf on their behalf that they actually effectively do not have the right to essentially represent those of the Commonwealth because they failed with quote unquote Meghan Markle. So as you can see, there's a lot to unpack here, and I haven't even gotten into my personal viewpoints and feelings about it, apart from the fact that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, with their last-ditch attempt to essentially gain public favour and gain public likability, have really tried to turn on the crocodile tears, and they have definitely tried to turn on the victimhood narrative. They are attacking online platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, where crowds and hordes of people essentially are sick and tired of their rubbish, and they go there for freedom of speech. Now, you guys, of course, are well aware of the fact that I've been away from my channel for quite some time. And because so much is happening in such a short period of time, and we have Christmas, I've been doing Christmas shopping, I haven't really gotten into why I lost steam with the channel. But all I can really summarize is this. Suspicious activity began to wreak havoc on my channel, and essentially I decided to take a step back. Now, YouTube directly contacted me and told me that suspicious clicks and activity was going on my channel, which could have only been from an external source. This would have been 2 months ago. Other YouTubers and content creators like Nate the Lawyer, Murky Meg, and many other content creators who have been directly attacked by Christopher Boozy, who we can now see directly has outed himself as a direct employee of the Archwell Foundation, have been systematically attacked and picked off one by one in an effort to shut down freedom of speech. So all I can really say is that I was on the verge of being deleted, guys. Yes, I was. YouTube essentially issued me with a warning that if this suspicious quote unquote activity continues, i.e., some kind of measure was taken to make it look as though I was either hacking or I was trying to drive views on my channel, which I never have, that I would be struck off YouTube for good. It was a scary time, and as I said, This really flies in the face of what freedom of speech is really about. It doesn't really exist, especially when you have a woke couple that are determined to push this narrative of being victims, and people like myself and Murky and all the rest of us just do not help with that cause. So, of course, they are attempting to strike us off. Now, I don't want to get too heavily involved in my personal issues with the whole content creation, but I just want to let you guys know that is pretty much a small snippet of the reason as to why I stepped away from the channel. On top of that reasoning, I was also receiving a lot of malicious emails from sugars accusing me of lightening my skin, accusing me of, basically living to destroy Meghan, so on and so forth. And the hate just got bigger and bigger and bigger. When you actually listen to my content, any rational minded, reasonable thinking person can listen to my channel and I just simply give my opinion. I don't really analyze or put out there anything that hasn't already been said. I just put my personal viewpoint and spin on it. Now, a lot of these sugars are irrational minded women. They cannot really think straight because their passion to defend Meghan Markle is so overwhelmingly powerful that they simply want to attack everything and anything that stands in her way. So I'm going to stop there, guys, because of course there's so much more to unpack with Harry and Meghan, and I will be back with another video. Bye, guys.